Hello, 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 hello. I'm broadcasting. First live stream, first of the Dave Nordahl show. We'll just do this. Patreon requests for October. There we go. And I really should have filled my drink up before going live. Shit. Because now I gotta leave and get ice. So, okay, okay, I can speak. So I guess, I'm gonna smash all the, requests into one. And, yeah. Do I switch to beer or... I'll be right back. I should send a text message to my goddamn sister. Fucking bleeding heart goddamn Democrat piece of shit. But I love her. I love her. Good morning, Nash and King. It's probably just going to be me and you here on the program today. All right, let's get into this. So these are all the Patreon requests. You can find a link to my Patreon, whatever the fuck it's called, in the description of my Lord of Patriarchy channel. Let's get into this. This is AAVE Explained, a dialect that transcends internet culture. Okay? I can't believe it went the way it went, but you know what? I'm not gonna let it wreck my day.
And that's on period. It's for me, not me acting right now. In the last decade or so, AAVE has
I really want to slap her almost immediately. Maybe it's because I'm pissed off because of the election, or maybe it's just her, but God, I really want to smack the shit out of her.
Been weaved and intertwined with internet culture, which has erased the unique history and representation of the original speakers, Black Americans. Trust me, this dialect is far more than just viral videos and sassy tweets. Before we get...
Oh, yes, because apparently everything that is cool and fun and blah, blah, blah was stolen from Black culture. Except the internet was an invention of white culture, and so was that fucking cell phone you can't go 5 minutes without looking into, you dumb black bitch.
Get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel.
I would rather let a German dominatrix who's coked up and high on PCP whip my nuts than subscribe to your channel.
Black American English, African American Vernacular English,
You're not African American. You're American. You have as much to do with Africa as I do with Europe, so fuck off, fuck you, and go to hell.
Internet slang. I'm Sierra, and today I'll break down everything about African American Vernacular English, its rich history, grammatical structure, and cultural impact. I grew up in Michigan, the Detroit area, where
What a shock.
79% of the residents are black.
Yeah, and the city is a complete shithole. It could be nice, but it's not.
Because of this, I've been surrounded by and using AAVE my entire life. Whether it was with classmates or family members, speaking AAVE was a tool that amplified and influenced my social interactions. It was our way of speaking. It was a part of who we are, who I am.
You're speaking English perfectly fine to a white boy who grew up in suburban Minnesota.
So, what exactly is AAVE? In the most simple terms, it's the way that many Black Americans communicate with one another that has evolved and continues to evolve.
Oh, it's like your own secret language, except everyone knows it, so it's not that fucking secret.
Over the last few centuries. Please note that AAVE differs between states and regions, so this is simply a general overview of the dialect.
Yeah, but it's completely different.
There's not a single or
Like, I don't know, maybe shorties don't mean cigarettes where you're from. Shorties also usually refers to some females that are short but hot.
origin story when it comes to the history of AAVE. We can make a linguistic connection back to the many enslaved Black Americans brought over to North America over 400 years.
Oh my God, you're not, just no. Hey, you dumb, stupid black girl. Open up a book. I'm going to give you a book to read. Little homework assignment. And I use black girl not because she's black, but because I use the term girl because she's young. Open up a book written by Edgar Allan Poe. And I choose this writer not because he's white, but because of the time he lived in. Or hell, let's do another one. Let's do Alexander Dumas, who's black. Read The Three Musketeers. You're going to have a hard time because the language is so different. The way they talked in 1619 or 1719 or 1819 and hell, even 1919 has nothing to do with our modern vernacular now, so fuck off and fuck you.
Years ago. The ongoing argument is whether AAVE is simply a variant adapted from the Germanic American English overheard on plantations, or if it's an entirely separate Creole that evolved from contact between English and several West African languages. The Creole theory still holds up because AAVE shares many pronunciation and structural similarities with other African-based Creoles around the globe. At the same time, AAVE is a lot closer structurally and pronunciation-wise to standard American English compared to Gullah or Louisiana Creole.
Are you sure you're just not confusing slang with language? Which there's plenty of white slang that you probably don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Much of AAVE's grammar and phonology are heavily comparable to rural dialects across the American South. So the debate around AAVE's origins continues. In the era of Jim Crow and rampant deadly attacks from the Ku Klux Klan,
there wasn't rampant deadly attacks even back then. Fuck off and fuck you.
Many Black people relocated from the South. With this
God, I am pissed off today. God, I am pissed off. Angry today.
Migration, millions of African Americans brought their culture and AAVE dialect with them to their new homes. So New York's AAVE doesn't sound exactly the same as Detroit's. This long, storied history that dates back over 100 years can't be reduced to internet slang. So, what are some of the features that many of the forms of AAVE share? One distinctive feature of the dialect is its grammar, specifically verb conjugations. Let's take a look at the present tense. In standard American English, you would say,
except it's not really, it doesn't have grammar. Sorry, not to be mean, but when some black people speak, there's no fucking grammar there.
say she doesn't like. Whereas in AAVE, you would say she don't like. So we can see that in AAVE, the verb to do is conjugated
Yes, because God forbid we speak English.
in the third person plural, rather than the third person singular. Next up is the present progressive tense, which is used to explain something that is happening in real time. For example, Nadine is going shopping. But in AAVE, you would drop the is and just say Nadine going shopping. Parts of the verb, like is and are often dropped in AAVE because the meaning is already implied.
Wouldn't the better thing of just be Nadine shopping? That's usually what I hear from black people. Nadine shopping!
Now, if someone said Nadine be going shopping, this has an entirely different meaning and brings us into the territory of the habitual be. The habitual be signifies that something is often or usually done. So, from our example sentence of Nadine be going shopping, the listener understands that, dang, Nadine really loves to shop and does it frequently. And depending on the tone in which this is said, it could imply that Nadine is a shopaholic. But like in most languages,
or maybe the black male is just annoyed with all your constant fucking questions as a black female. I know this because I talk to black men who date white women, and the reason they're with a white woman is to get the fuck away from you.
context and tone can have a huge impact on meaning. In AAVE, you might hear someone say ax instead of the traditional ask, or library instead of library. This is called metathesis, which involves switching around.
Like I worked with a guy. He was a driver on my area for a while, and he was kind of upset one day, and he's like, "Well, I kind of upset my mom." And like, "Well, what'd you do? You know, just slap her in the face or something?" He was a black guy that only dated chicks that were not black, and his mom said, "Why don't you find a nice black girl?" And he snapped at her, and he just said, "'Cause black women are fucking annoying. Like you." I said, "Well, apologize for the annoying part. The rest is actually true." There's a reason why 80% of black women are unmarried.
Sounds and words. Although metathesis is a part of the dialect, non-AAVE speakers often make fun of it and or
Well, here's the other problem. You have take this black girl here. I'm going to put her at about 20. I could be wrong about her age, but I'm going to put her at about 20. Already, first question comes to my mind. How many dicks has been ran through this chick? Let's say she can prove that she's pure as the driven snow. Big indicator there. She actually knows who the fuck her dad is. Okay, let's say she's as pure as the driven snow. How much of a headache am I going to get? Seriously, how much of a fucking headache am I going to get if I marry her, if I wife her up? Because black women say they want to be submissive to their husbands. They don't. And why any man would put up with a non-submissive woman is beyond me.
Or discredited. Unfortunately, it's not uncommon for this metathesis to be corrected in schools. This is particularly common when Black children are in predominantly white school districts. Although this is valuable knowledge when speaking and learning standard American English, it's important for educators to realize that AAVE is its own dialect.
No, it's not! Learn the fucking language, you dumb cunt!
Once this is acknowledged, educators can explain to students that their dialect at home is super rich and important, but there are certain rules.
I don't give a fuck what you speak at home. If you spoke Polish at home, one of the whitest languages of all, or French at home, when you go to school here in America, you need to speak proper English. And your dumbass, dumbing down, black ass fucking version of English doesn't fucking cut it.
To follow when speaking standard American English. It's important to note that one dialect is not more correct than another. However, people who dismiss AAVE as an internet phenomenon.
By the way, if you want to say me saying black ass is racist, she has an ass, I have an ass. I'm assuming both are glorious. But my ass is white, her ass is black.
For young people are actually erasing over 400 years of culture, heritage, and linguistic development.
And the 400 years means less than nothing.
AAVE speakers have been historically discriminated against and left out of many educational, social, and political.
By the way, you know that most of the 400 years of slavery, yada, 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 actually, it's closer to 200 years, but whatever. Most of that was down in South America. You're aware that most of the slaves were sent to sugar plantations, not cotton fields. The ones that were lucky enough to be sent to cotton fields were actually in Cloud 9. The sugar plantations were far more brutal, but you don't bring them up.
Spaces because of the way we speak. Whether intentionally or not, how we describe AAVE can influence how its heritage lives on. Shade. Vibe check as shade. Okay, girl. And other historically Black and queer expressions take over the internet.
So are you a lesbian then? Like, seriously, are you a lesbian then? And don't say you're bi just because you kissed a girl. No. For you to get bi, I want you to have gone all the way. And that means you put another woman's pussy to your face and you lick the shit out of it.
Let's take a moment to recognize that these communities have been at the forefront of linguistic innovation for decades. Trust me, I get it. AAVE is cool, but like all great things, we need to credit the creators. Now when you're scrolling...
No, I don't need to credit the creators with how I speak. It's how I speak. If it was a catchy tune or a catchphrase or something like that, I might credit the creator. But how I speak is just how I speak. Go fuck yourself. You dumb, stupid, idiot little girl.
Your feed, you'll know which community to thank for the terms you're hearing and probably using. It's clear that AAVE has influenced English as a whole, and social media has accelerated this change, including who is using the language. Even though this dialect is rich, vibrant, and continues to inspire generations, it's important that we do not forget the historic mistreatment of people who speak this dialect. From slavery to the Civil War to the Reconstruction era to Jim Crow to the war on drugs.
Wait, you mean the Civil War? You mean the 600,000 mostly white guys that had to die?
Out of resilience.
Alright, hold on. I gotta check my internet connection. Okay, it says it's fine. What the fuck, YouTube, you fucking cunt.
It's up to all of us to educate ourselves so we can collectively understand, respect, appreciate, and give credit to AAVE speakers. And that's on period. Thank you for tuning in to this Babble Explains.
Thank God it's over. No, I don't. You shove your thank you up your ass. If you think the country is so bad, if you think everything is so horrible, go to fucking Africa and find out what real oppression is. You're not oppressed, and I guarantee you, there's some, just by your hair, there's some white ancestry in you, or you're appropriating white culture. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. And this is the case of Bianca Davis. Whoever the fuck that is.
Liberty Mutual.
Bundle and save with Liberty Mutual.
And my drink is gone. Alright, I guess I'll switch to beer. Shit.
Today, celebrity is the easiest thing to obtain. Every day, someone new, beautiful, and funny gets retweeted on Twitter or posts a video and gets hundreds of thousands of views, which equates to thousands of dollars, which then turns into brand deals, which then turns into an entire career. People like Brittany Broski, Sarah Schauer, Drew Gooden, and more post short, 10-second clips and gain millions of followers almost at once, changing their lives forever. Suddenly, people are telling you that you saved.
Obviously, there was some sort of talent there. I mean, I don't know, but there had to be something.
Their life simply by posting. People are sending you gifts and fan mail, telling you that you make.
Look, I don't care. I don't fucking care. What these TikTok people do. And if you want to send them a gift, that's on you. I mean, you know, I got annoyed with the one time I was legitimately on the drunken peasants. Was I had a video where I had a screed against TJ. But I had to back down because at the end of the day, if people really did want to just give him the damn money, it's their money to waste. I just don't know why the fuck he asked for it in the first place, but you know what? He asked for it, and I guess whatever.
Their life better just by existing. And now you're getting money just by doing the things you were doing anyway. What could be better? While social media stardom can seem incredibly alluring, there is ultimately a dark side, because how can you ever be sure who is on the other side of the screen? And how can you keep yourself safe when you don't know that you're in danger? Welcome back to another episode of Dreading. Today we are going to be talking about the case of Bianca Devins, which was requested by one of our subscribers, who unfortunately watched this case in real time. And unfortunately, a lot of this case happened in real time, and was live streamed on social media, which makes.
And she's not the first. Why do I think I'm gonna get shades of Jody Huisentruit? Yeah, remember her? That's from the 90s. Of course you wouldn't, kid.
Makes it extremely easy to stumble upon disturbing material.
My point is that famous people that put themselves out there, have always had to deal with this. It hasn't changed because of TikTok or Twitch or whatever.
Even if you weren't looking for it. Due to how available graphic images surrounding this case are online, I do want to warn you not to Google Bianca's name, and to be wary if you feel compelled to look up any part of this case. While researching, I unfortunately found multiple images that I didn't wish to see, and it's my responsibility to let you know before you search. All links in the comments section of this video will likewise be filtered, so nothing graphic is posted or shared. The family has made it clear that they do not want these images out there, and so they will not be shared here. Before we begin, I do want to take a moment to say thank you. At the time of recording, we just passed 2 months of uploading and hit 25,000 subscribers. I didn't foresee this growth in such a short amount of time, but nonetheless, I am incredibly thankful. Because of the content that I make and the continued issues that channels like mine have with YouTube, I didn't think growing at this rate would be possible. I have opened a Patreon, which I will link below, and will be making one Patreon exclusive video per month, with other perks like early access to videos, voting on topics, and more. Eventually, the hope is to be able to quit my job and focus on this full time, but I will cross that bridge when I come to it. With that said,
Kid went missing 15 years ago.
I'm gonna get some answers.
Are you guys getting ready for the riff-off?
What the hell is a
let us begin. In most reporting around this case, Bianca Devins is mischaracterized as a famous e-girl with a huge online following, which is entirely untrue. Bianca's social media did boost thousands of followers prior to her passing, but she was in no way a social media icon that other publications stated she was.
What was her sub count at the time of her murder? Because this can mean everything.
She wasn't making a living online, and her followers were mostly her friends and people she talked to often. She wasn't famous. She didn't have fans. She was simply chronically online, the way so many other teens are. Growing up, Bianca was a spitfire. Her mother, Kim, had gotten pregnant when she was just 17, after dating Bianca's father for a few months. The relationship between Kim and Bianca's father, Mike, wasn't good, with Mike being equal parts emotionally abusive and distant, with multiple
Oh, jeez. Emotionally abusive. Man, grow up. Deal with it. Do you know how I deal with emotionally abusive people? I cut them out. Stop fucking crying. This is why women shouldn't be able to vote. They're ruled by their emotions. You can emotionally abuse a woman. I don't believe it's possible to emotionally abuse a man. Or at least a man like me. Because I'll just cut you out of my fucking life.
Police reports backing up her claims, but Kim did all she could to take care of Bianca and her younger sister. Bianca was rambunctious and spirited, interested in everything that she saw. More than that, Bianca was incredibly protective, fighting at a young age with her father about how he treated her mother, then later protecting her younger sister in the same way. Bianca was the type of person who everyone wanted on their side. She was unafraid of conflict and always tried.
So, wait a second. You said the father was abusive. But she got in the middle of him and her mom. And then got in the middle of her and her little sisters. So obviously this guy wasn't that fucking bad. Because if he was that fucking bad, that wouldn't have been a sentence uttered out of your fucking mouth.
To do what she believed was right. She cared more than the average person, taking time to get to know the people around her to a degree most wouldn't. And when asked, one of her classmates who had been bullied stated,
"Why do I think maybe just maybe her parents were trapped in a loveless marriage. Neither one of them had the balls to get divorced. Or they stayed together because of the kids. But I'm not going to call her father abusive because you just threw up another red flag. Oh, fuck off. Emotional abuse these days means you actually told the kid the goddamn truth.
Something. But that was just who Bianca was. Despite the fact that Bianca was incredibly forthright and caring to those around her, she wasn't able to give that love to the one who needed it the most, herself. According to her mother, when Bianca entered middle school, it was like a switch flipped in her mind, and suddenly she lost interest in everything. She had been incredibly popular early in her school career. However, with the exception of a handful of classmates, Bianca shut herself off from the rest of the world, suddenly becoming incredibly shy and anxious in social situations. Even going outside would start to become a problem for Bianca. She almost fully retreated from the outside world, with the exception of going to school, and instead began to start posting online. She became obsessed with anime, Minecraft, and meme culture. She would spend hours on her phone and on the family computer, choosing to stay in rather than go out with her friends and family. She found that online she could project the perfect image of herself, the person who she felt she was always falling short of being. It was then that she began to post on her.
Okay, then maybe it's time for Daddy. I don't know, maybe she had shitty parents. But if I seen my daughter take that dramatic of a turn, I'd be like, hey, sweetie, I don't really care what you say. We're going to the amusement park today. Whether you like it or not. And I outweigh you by 100 pounds, so you're coming. You can either get dressed and act like a lady, or I can carry you out and we'll hit the park in your fucking pajamas, because that's a thing now.
Multiple different names, such as Switchblades, Bia, Oxycontin, BGTFO, and more. The change in Bianca was startling and concerning to those around her, and her mother made it a point to try and get her professional help. She took her to multiple therapists, where they sat down and went over the extreme change that had seemingly manifested out of nowhere, but none of the therapists they saw could determine what had happened. It's just growing pains, they said. She'd sort herself out. They quickly wrote the change.
Well, I'm sorry, but a 14-year-old girl getting moody, that's not... That's a 14-year-old girl.
Changes off as just teen girl things and sent them on their way. However, Bianca's behavior would continue to worry those around her. After
Alright, I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna get into the beer.
entering high school, Bianca began to be bullied. She was 5'10", pale, and stuck out amongst her peers. Her interest in anime and Japanese fashion made her stand out even more, with the majority of her classmates not sharing her interests and finding them off-putting. On multiple of her social media accounts, remnants of this bullying remains, with anonymous posters telling her she's ugly, addicted to drugs, and should hurt herself. To those she did spend time with, she became known as a kind-hearted but erratic person. She would spend hours talking to others about their issues, allowing them to vent whatever frustrations they had to her. But when asked about herself, she would lie for seemingly no reason. On one occasion, she told a friend that she was Jewish, which she wasn't, and that she had been diagnosed with autism. To a former boyfriend, she told them she was Asian, then later changed that and said she was Cuban. Bianca
Yeah, she looks kind of Asian in this photo, at least.
Bianca's behaviors, though concerning, were once again hand-waved by most around her as just teenage girl things. She was simply lying to gain a certain amount of attention from those around.
Well, what do you want us to do? Seriously, that should be your end goal. What do you want us to do? I mean, I woke up today pissed off as fuck about the election results. What do you want us to do? I can't force a girl into a mental health facility because of possible suicidal ideations. I'm assuming that's where this ends. Or that she's too moody. I can't, nor would I support that. Again, I've been around 15-year-old girls. They're moody as fuck. That's why I honestly wonder when a guy my age hooks up with a 15-year-old. Like, really? like, really? You want to listen to that shit? Where she'll dissect her orgasm and then complain to you about her daddy and then blah, 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 blah?
Around her, and she'd grow out of it. It wasn't
Fuck!
until she began to have panic attacks at the prospect of going outside that Kim realized that something was very wrong. Loud sounds and sudden movements became too much for her, and if she was overstimulated, she would have a mental breakdown. Halfway through her sophomore year in high school, Kim pulled her out.
Then stimulate her beyond the point of reason. I would stimulate her beyond the point of reason and be like, sweetheart, you're still here.
Out to pursue homeschooling, wanting to help her daughter. She was also formally diagnosed with PTSD as well as borderline personality disorder and began getting treatment for both.
Where the fuck did she get PTSD? The dumb bitch was in suburbia. She wasn't in combat.
Which greatly helped her. On Bianca's Telenym account, Bianca acknowledged her own struggles with mental health from when she was in high school. Someone anonymously sent her this message. You are the most mentally unstable person I know, and you wear it like a badge of honor. Your life is nothing but struggle because you won't even try to improve yourself, instead opting down the same path of self-destruction and vice. Being mentally unhinged isn't something to be proud of, especially if it's ruining your life. Just quit this shitty facade and face reality, you fucking coward. To which Bianca replied, this would have been true like last year. In response to another comment, Bianca wrote, I was 15 to 16, and I was stupid and made a lot of bad decisions. My personality hasn't changed much, besides being better now. In another post on the same forum, a seemingly...
How about just toughening the fuck up? Seriously, how about just toughening the fuck up?
separate anonymous account wrote to her saying, I really care about you and want you to live a fulfilling life. You're better than who you were, and I really hope you make it in life. To which she replied, this means a lot to me. I am going through some weird stuff right now, but I have come a long way since a few years ago. Because Bianca had been taken out of school, she delved further into the internet, choosing to present herself as different, idealized versions of herself. She wanted people to see her not as who she was, but who she dreamed she could be, which materialized in her having different multiple accounts, and talking to people
I don't care.
under various aliases. In her mind, who she was in real life was disappointing and unlovable, and LARPing as other people was the only way to get people to truly love her. Some of these accounts talk about drug use, eating disorders, and self-harm, but it's entirely unclear how much of this Bianca had actually done and how much she was simply, in her words, cosplaying.
Oh,
she was also
Jesus
incredibly
Christ,
bullied
$5
on these
video. How
accounts,
much
with
do I
people
actually
claiming
have to
that she wasn't
fucking
mentally
do
ill
with
and was just an
shit?
attention-seeking sociopath. And it would only get worse the farther and farther into online culture she delved. It was around that time that Bianca
I
found
don't
4chan,
care.
the anonymous image board community. Bianca found the site and quickly began posting.
Oh,
Because of her
Bianca
appearance,
killed
youth, and the fact that she
herself.
was one of the only girls
I
posting on the
don't
image
give
board,
a shit.
Bianca quickly garnered a small audience of
I
dedicated men who are
couldn't
obsessed
care
with her. In an
fucking
interview about her murder,
less.
a friend of Bianca's named Erica Rose,
I
who also
don't
posted to 4chan in the
fucking
same boards of
care.
Bianca, talked about how Bianca would engage with the men who followed her, and how she was
on
ultimately too nice to
this
them. These men,
fucking
who she referred to
site.
as orbiters, were obsessed about the girls they followed, to the point of being dangerous. Because girls were so rare to find on the board, men would become obsessed with them, particularly if they were underage and easily manipulated. These men would send these girls gifts and adoration with the hope that they would give them some form of attention back, with many demanding nudes for their time and efforts. The gifts could be innocent, like stuffed animals, clothing, or even money, but sometimes they would go so far as to send the girls drugs. The more elaborate and expensive the gift, the more it was generally felt the girl owed. Much like celebrity stalkers who feel they have a relationship with someone they have never met, these men create an entirely false ideal of who the person behind the screen was. They romanticize them to the point where they stop being a person. And the moment she were to do something to fall out of favor with their idea of who she is supposed to be, the illusion is shattered. The result is oftentimes incredibly dangerous. In the same article, Erica describes different scenarios of things she had seen happen when the orbiter's illusion is shattered. In most cases, she said, it usually involves the girl being doxxed or her nudes being
care. Oh my God. I don't care. The girl made her own choices. What am I don't care what she did. I don't care if she put her tits on the fucking camera. I don't care if people sent her coke. I don't care if a bunch of fucking internet jack-offs thought she was their girlfriend. If one of her internet fans fucking went too far and killed her, well, then he could be punished, and that be that. Honestly, for me, if I was looking at this girl as a life partner, as a girlfriend, wife, whatever, the second she said, oh, by the way, I showed my pussy on OnlyFans, me, just speaking as me, would be like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. I'm out. I'm going to give this 10 more minutes. And then I think I've more than earned my fucking money with it.
That is seemingly the best case scenario, and one that was alarmingly common. In other cases, she stated that some of these men have threatened outright violence and arrived at the girls' homes unannounced, threatening
and you have the cops or buy a gun
to kill them and their families. Again, in most cases, this would be happening to underage girls, still living at home. In one extreme instance, a girl talked about,
well, maybe if she had her daddy at home, this wouldn't be a fucking problem. But then again, if she had her daddy at home, she wouldn't be on OnlyFans showing her pussy underage.
how a man called in a mass shooting threat to her school, something she wasn't sure if he would actually follow through on. The FBI had been called in to check the veracity of the threat, and all because she had done something to upset this man's idea of who she was. These were the people who Bianca was spending the majority of her time talking to online, and these were the people who were making her feel seen and loved, sending her gifts and praise every time she so much as posted a picture of herself. She had no idea that they were grooming her. One of the people Bianca met on 4chan was her ex-boyfriend.
All right, let's talk about grooming. If she's over the age of 18, then grooming doesn't exist. Fuck off and fuck you.
Real name has largely been kept out of the public, but for the sake of this video, we will call him Rob. Rob was 18 when he met Bianca on 4chan. At the time, she was just 15 years old. They began
18 and 15, that could have been a high school romance.
And talking on a board meant for hookups, and after
18 and 15 could have been a high school romance. That's way too close for me to say grooming. Fuck off and fuck you, you little virgin fuck. God, and I still have 2 other videos to go.
2 weeks of talking and meeting up, she asked him to be her boyfriend. Rob, like Bianca, was dealing with a plethora of mental health issues, as well as substance abuse issues. According to Bianca's mother, the pair was toxic, and seemed to feed off the drama between them. They were on and off for 2 years, constantly fighting and breaking up, then getting back together as if nothing had happened. On a number of occasions, Bianca ran away from home to be with Rob, with a total of 3 missing persons reports being filed before she turned 17, and each time she would be found with Rob. According to Rob, Bianca felt as if he were the only person who truly loved her, and that she was otherwise alone in the world. Because of that, Bianca would overlook some of his worst qualities, because she would rather be with him than be alone. Kim didn't like Rob for a variety of reasons. Not least was the fact that when Bianca broke up with him the first time, he had gone and posted a video of him and Bianca having sex online. The video was taken, once again, when Bianca was just 15, and was taken without her knowledge or consent.
Well, you can't consent to having a porno made when you're 15. So what he did was illegal. There are already laws to prevent such a thing. What's your fucking problem?
Finding this out, Kim and Bianca went to the police, as what he did not only constituted as revenge porn, but also child porn. Rob then
Look, I don't know about revenge porn, but child porn, okay, yeah, that is illegal.
told Bianca that the charges, despite being accurate to what he had done, would ruin his life and he was going to kill himself and leave a note blaming her. After hearing that, Bianca stopped cooperating with the police and charges were ultimately dropped, with her stating that she no longer
Well, then that's on fucking her! Guys, this is gonna kill himself. My life is ruined, blah, blah, blah. And then she tells the cops, fuck off. That's on her.
longer wanted to pursue legal action. Kim was furious, wanting to
How much sympathy do you want me to give the dumb bitch?
prosecute the adult man who was taking advantage of her daughter and shared child porn of her. But Bianca wouldn't budge, and after a couple of days, got back together with Rob. Trying once more to get her daughter help, Kim placed Bianca on a persons in need of supervision hold, which meant that Bianca had to wear an ankle monitor at all times and was placed under house arrest. Kim knew that it was only a matter of time before Bianca tried to run away again, and she hoped that the ankle monitor would prove to be good enough of a deterrent for her. But it did little to stop Bianca, as she cut the monitor off and tried to run away to be with Rob again. After a good amount of back and forth, Bianca was moved to St. Anne Institute, a mental health facility in Albany, New York. It was here that Bianca was able to make incredible strides in her mental health and well-being. In an
Jesus Christ, can we just move on?
disturbing way. Not much is known about Jason other than he
Swing into a swashbuckling swagalicious.
is Brandon's father, and that after what his son did, he was quoted as saying he believed that he raised his son right. However, in 2010, when Brandon would have been 12, Jason, believing that his wife was cheating on him, held her hostage for over 10 hours, at which point he beat her and held a butcher's knife up to her throat while screaming that he was going to kill her and then himself. The attack started out of nowhere, with Jason accusing his wife of sleeping with a mutual acquaintance while she was talking with her mother, who lived with them at the time. She laughed off his accusation, stating he was being ridiculous, and went back to talking to her mom, which only further angered him. He jumped on top of her and started beating her wildly. Her mother was horrified and ran to the phone to call 911.
Okay, what does this have to do with the dumb cunt you were talking about before? Okay, fine.
And I appreciate you more now than I ever have. You gave me a card and you wrote me so much that you had to write "Love Mom" off the page. LOL. I really cried while reading it, and I read it a lot. It meant a lot to me that you would express yourself like that, because I've had such a hard time expressing how grateful I am for you. Thank you, Kaylee, for the same. Even though you weren't related by blood, you've given me so much kindness and the motherhood times two. You and I have been through similar things. You can relate to me and understand my actions, and you've been through a lot. I hope that I can make you as happy as you make me. You're so important to me, and I'm glad that you're in my life. You've been such a wonderful mother to Maddie, and I'm glad I have you and all of your kids. When I'm feeling down, I think of how special I am to have you all. I hope I can make you both proud of me. I'm doing my best for both of you, because I love you too. Even when I'm off at college, I'll be with you all every day of my life, even when I transfer, LOL. With 8 months of not being home, we've grown stronger than ever as a family. I love you guys so much, and happy Mother's Day. When Bianca got back in February of 2019, her family could see a tremendous difference. She was in a better spot mentally and was flourishing. Now with the drive to study and pursue psychology while at college, she began to reconnect with her friends, people who she had previously believed hated her because of her mental health, and it seemed she had nowhere to go but up. But all that changed when she met Brandon Clark. Before we talk about Brandon Clark, we first need to talk about his father, Jason, because as it would turn out, Brandon took after his father in an incredibly disturbing way. Not much is
You can't blame the actions of a son on the dad. You can't. How many sons of murderers are there that went on to have normal, productive lives?
Known about Jason other than he is Brandon's father.
By the way, what about all the... You know that a majority of killers, people we have inside the pen for murder, well, the single mother raised. Like, you're aware of that, right? Right?
And that after what his son did, he was quoted as saying he believed that he raised his son right. However, in 2010, when Brandon would have been 12, Jason, believing that his wife was cheating on him, held her hostage for over 10 hours, at which point he beat her and held a butcher's knife up to her throat while screaming that he was going to kill her and then himself. The attack started out of nowhere, with Jason accusing his wife of sleeping with a mutual acquaintance while she was talking with her mother, who lived with them at the time. She laughed off his accusation, stating he was being ridiculous, and went back to talking to her mom, which only further angered him. He jumped on top of her and started beating her wildly. Her mother was horrified and ran to the phone to call 911. Jason followed her, and when she picked up the phone, he tore it out of the wall. Somehow, she was able to escape Jason and run out of the home and to a neighbor's, where she was able to call for help. By that time, Jason had barricaded him and his wife in the home and had picked up a knife, intending on using it to kill her and then himself. When the police arrived on site, they recalled seeing him bash Michelle's head into a wall, causing her to be covered in her own blood, and had her call out to the police that she was being held hostage. He forced her to state multiple times.
This is the most boring fucking video I've ever done. If you're a goddamn Patreon subscriber, could you give me something more to work with?
Times that he was going to kill her and then himself, and that if anyone approached the home, she would die. After a couple of hours, Jason began to cry and apologize to Michelle, wrapping her up in a blanket and stating he didn't mean to hurt her as badly as he did. After 10 hours, he allowed her to leave, and he was arrested. Jason was then charged with felony assault, criminal possession of a weapon, unlawful imprisonment, aggravated criminal contempt, misdemeanor menacing, and obstructing government administration. Worse still is that it's currently unknown if Brandon was in the home at the time and witnessed any of this. Many who are familiar with the case hypothesize that he had been in the house, or at the very least had witnessed his father doing this exact same thing before.
Okay, even if he witnessed his mother getting brutally beaten, that doesn't explain nor excuse his actions. You know, I grew up with a dad, and while he never beat my mom and never laid a finger on her, if he did, that is no indication on my life. We are what we are.
With the standoff
And honestly, this video is having me go, is he a reptilian?
being 10 hours long, involving every member of his family, it is likely that even if Brandon weren't in the home at the start of the attack, he was privy to the media circus outside and witnessed the end. The parallels between what Jason did here and what Brandon would later go on to do raise many red flags and lead.
But remember, Kong whooped Godzilla's ass.
Most who know about Jason's actions to theorize that Brandon was replicating his father.
I don't care. I don't care what your daddy did. This whole section of the video could have been cut out. Because your daddy's actions have nothing to do with you, and I have the hiccups, so I'm going to go silent for a minute.
Brandon Clark was a disturbing individual. While friends and acquaintances came forward to talk about their positive experiences with Bianca, the opposite was true for Brandon, as it seemed everyone in his life thought something was wrong with him, with a slight exception given for his parents. They both agreed that they raised him well, which was absolutely not the case. His father was arrested for assaulting his mother.
You can't be held accountable. There is no manual on how to raise a child well. Kids are humans. Every one of them is fucking different.
And holding her hostage. His mother was also arrested, and he was sent into foster care. And while Brandon appeared fine on the outside, coming off as a well-meaning but nerdy young man, he became obsessed sexually with young girls. When he was 16, his friends stated that he was infatuated with lolicon, Japanese media that featured young girls as romantic and oftentimes sexual interests. He had read thousands of manga featuring sexual drawings of young girls, and when his friends found out, they were horrified. It was clear to them,
what does manga have to do with anything? It's just fiction.
That Brandon was interested in minors from the material alone that they were confronting him about. Brandon tried to
If it was my friends, I'd be like, fuck off, fuck you. It's fiction. Now get the fuck out of my house. And we're no longer friends. You're seriously going to call me a pedo over a fucking comic? Fuck you. That would be my literal response. You're gonna call me this? You're gonna accuse me of this? Shame me as this? When all it is a fucking cartoon? I'd be like, you know what? No, we're done. Get out. I'm gonna give you guys exactly 10 seconds to apologize. But if you still believe it, get out. And if you do believe it, then there is no reason why you shouldn't get out. If you're gonna do this over a fucking cartoon,
to play it off as being just a preference in reading material and not something he would pursue in real life, until it was found out that he had been texting and grooming a 12-year-old at the same time, trying to get her to be his girlfriend and send
alright, that's a little bit different.
him sexual images of herself. After being confronted about his actions, Brandon responded to his friends saying, "Trust me, you're better off not being concerned about the shit I do or think of doing because you won't like what you see." His friends stopped talking to him after that, and it seemed as if they never reported his actions to any kind of authority. Brandon was a predator,
Not their job.
before meeting Bianca, seeking to groom and be with young women just like her. And through trial and error, he had learned how to come across as the perfect gentleman who only wanted what was best. He had skillfully created a mask that would allow him to gain access to the person he set his sights on. And unfortunately, that person was Bianca. Bianca and Brandon met through Instagram and became fast friends. He was 21 and she had just turned 17. And to him, she was perfect. She was slender.
This is literally the most boring video. To whoever gave me this video, could you please give me something? This is the most boring thing I've ever fucking watched. In fact, I think I may have fallen asleep.
And looked young, and because of her sweet, trusting nature, he was drawn to her. He showered her with adoration and attention, something that she mistook as friendship. Given her years of posting on 4chan, he would comment on every
Unless you want to ban children from the internet, which I'd be fine with, you're never going to stop this problem. There's always going to be that lonely girl whose mom doesn't give a fuck about her, whose stepdaddy has stopped fucking her, looking for adoration and attention that will go on OnlyFans or Instagram or whatever other fucking service there is. And there'll always be a pit of thirsty fucking dudes that will give her every goddamn bit of adulation on the planet. And when it comes to thirsty dudes, there's a lot of them, and their range is pretty fucking wide. I know this because I have a friend. She is about the same age as I am. I'm a little bit older than her, like a couple of months. And probably at our age, it doesn't fucking matter anymore, but she still constantly gets messages from dudes that are either dick pics or messages for her feet. Even though she's the same age as I am, so the desire doesn't fucking stray. Here's what you have to do, and I really wish more people would do that. Just ignore it. Look, do I enjoy when people say, oh my God, I tried this on my cooking show. Oh my God, I tried this. It was so fucking good. Does it give me a little bit of a dopamine hit? Yeah, sure. Am I constantly striving for it? No. For a 40-year-old woman, yeah, she's still hot. She goes to the gym religiously, so big shock.
Post that she made stating how beautiful she was and how lucky he was to have her in his life. If she posted to her Instagram story, he was in her DMs within seconds, and almost overnight, he had woven himself into the fabric of her life. Bianca was upfront with Brandon about her wants out of their relationship. She didn't feel anything more than platonic feelings towards him, and she often placated his compliments by reminding him that they were just friends, and she wasn't looking to start a relationship with anyone because she was going to be going to college in the fall. She was going to be starting a new chapter in her life, and a boyfriend didn't fit in that picture. They had hooked up a couple of times previously, but Bianca was clear. She saw him as a friend and nothing more. However, Brandon didn't care.
Friends with benefits?
He was dead set on her becoming his girlfriend, so much that he had already begun to refer to himself as her boyfriend around her family. Brandon had integrated himself into her life so effortlessly that he had even
So effortlessly. Really? You just said 5 seconds ago that the dumb bitch and him had hooked up. Now, call me a boomer, but hookup means sex, does it not? So she'd already fucked him. You know, maybe take the guy's feelings into consideration in this. She has sex with... Now, look, if it was me, okay, fine. We can have meaningless sex. Not a problem. I'm not your damn boyfriend, but I'm the guy you fuck at night. But take another guy. When they had sex, that to him may mean a hell of a lot more than it does to me. But once again, we're only focused on the female. Once again, goddamn, God forbid we actually ask a woman to play fucking life on normal mode.
charmed her mother. Upon meeting
And taking a look, if this is the son of a bitch, yeah, a kind of a soy boy, weak-willed beta bitch male. And she took him to meet her fucking mom. You don't take a guy you're fucking for fun to meet your parents. There's 2 guys that get that nod. Okay, to be fair, 3, but usually 3 is irrelevant. Either A, your boyfriend, which is about 99% of the time. B, 1% of the time is your husband. You just got married. It was a thing. Less than 0 is your fiance.
Brandon, Kim was blown away by how open and honest he was about his life. He told her about his harsh upbringing and how difficult life had been for him, but stopped short of letting her know how obsessed he was with her daughter. After the nightmare that Bianca had gone through with Rob, Brandon seemed like a breath of fresh air. His actions were methodical and pre-planned, as he hoped that by getting close to Kim, she would encourage Bianca to be with him. However, unbeknownst to him, Kim did the opposite. She knew her daughter didn't want to be tied down, and while she trusted Brandon and thought he was an upstanding person at the time,
then why'd she do this? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be looking harshly at the girl in this situation, because why would you bring him around to meet your mom? If you're just going to be friends with benefits, that's fine. I can understand that, and I can accept that. But friends with benefits means exactly that. You don't bring them around to meet your fucking parents. This woman emotionally manipulated this man, and I'm sorry, but she got a bad result. I am done with giving women the pass on life. I am fucking done with it. No, she played with fire, she got burned. Fuck her. Fuck her and fuck you.
She knew that his feelings clearly superseded Bianca's, and he wanted more than she was willing to give. She encouraged Bianca to be open and upfront with him and stop accepting gifts from him, as it was giving him the wrong idea. Kim told Bianca that she was unintentionally leading Brandon on, and it would be better if she stopped hanging out with him as much, at least until he found someone else to focus on romantically. But Bianca assured her mother they were just friends. He was okay with them not being together, and when Bianca asked her mother if it would be okay for her to go to her first concert by herself since coming back from St. Anne's, Kim was reassured by the fact that Brandon would be going with her. But there was no way
I'm sorry, I have no fucking sympathy for this.
For her to know.
For this chick. I'll give a personal story. There was a girl I was very attracted to, and I let her know my feelings. And then I found out that I didn't have the equipment. She was a lesbian. And then I quickly turned to, oh shit, we're going to a concert later. Son of a bitch, you can help me with these ladies. Then my perv brain took over.
what he had planned. Prior to the concert, Bianca had been speaking on Discord to a boy who she was interested in. While she wasn't seeking
I'm sorry, that's not a boy. That's a full-grown man. And looks like a vegan soy boy at that.
a relationship before going off to college, she thought this boy was cute and sweet, and wanted to get to know him a bit better. He was shy and a bit socially awkward, and she knew that he had never so much as been kissed, which she thought was cute. They had been speaking for about a week prior to the concert, and planned to meet up while there. Bianca was drawn to how sincere and innocent he
Oh my god, and you took the other guy? Dear dumbass cunt. This is not gonna end well. I can already tell you this is not gonna fucking end well. Best case scenario, I'm never talking to you again and I'm not giving you a ride home. Worst case scenario, I beat the fuck out of people.
was, and wanted to be his first kiss. Because Brandon would be driving to the concert, and because she wanted to be honest with him, she told him that she would be meeting up with someone else, someone who she was interested in. She asked him if he would be okay with that, or if it would be a better idea for her to just go by herself, and outwardly, Brandon seemed not to mind. He told her that he would be fine with it, seeing as
Don't tell him about the concert, you stupid fucking slut.
They weren't together. But that couldn't have been further from the truth. After his conversation with Bianca, he had begun Googling how to find and cut a carotid artery and how to incapacitate someone. He then
And yeah, this guy does not look anywhere near her age. Maybe it's the filters, maybe it's the this, maybe it's the that, but this guy does not look anywhere near her goddamn age. Like, he looks 20 fucking years older.
put a knife, rope, and a large tarp in the back seat of his car and waited, knowing that the day of the concert he would enact his plan. The day of the concert, Brandon had made a checklist on his phone.
Okay, so some son of a bitch decided to kill other people. This happens all the fucking time.
Of things he wanted to do that day, which included him changing his Instagram bio to display his date of death, that being that very day, and the quote, "Just know that I feel no pain now." He also posted a quote from the book Fight Club that states, "This is your life, and it ends 1 minute at a time." He then put his laptop, his computer's hard drive, a can of spray paint, and a lighter in the back of his car with a tarp and the knife. Brandon picked up Bianca from her house, and after saying goodbye to her mom and assuring her he would bring her back safely, the pair left to go to the concert. While on the way, Bianca was chatting with others on her Discord, both in her voice and text chat. She was in high spirits, excited to see one of her all-time favorite artists and talk to the cute guy who she was interested in, completely unaware of the horror Brandon had in store for her. During the concert, Brandon
Torturer or something?
and Bianca had met up with her Discord friend. According to Bianca's messages, the pair had kissed twice and held hands, which angered Brandon. Bianca knew he was pissed at her for the situation, but thought very little of it, seeing as they had already discussed what was going to happen. She was on cloud 9 and messaged her friend about how amazing the night had been. While driving home, Bianca fell asleep in the back seat of Brandon's car. While she was sleeping, he took this photo while driving and posted it to his Instagram story, which read, "Here comes hell. It's redemption, right?" He then drove to a dead-end road close to where Bianca had gone to high school, and while she was sleeping, got out of the car, went to the trunk, and pulled out a knife, all while filming himself on his phone. He then
Okay, so he's a psycho. Maybe this is a tale of why women shouldn't fuck around with unrequited love or unreciprocated love, whatever you want to call it. And again, unless you have very clear boundaries, another reason why no, men and women can't be friends. Like, I have a friend, she's a woman. I have very clear boundaries with her. And she's straight, I'm straight, but at this point, you know, it'd be more like fucking my sister. But this took years to develop. Years.
got back into the car and woke her up, proceeding to ask her about her kissing the other guy. Bianca apologized to him, stating that she didn't mean to upset him in any way, but then proceeded to make it clear that they weren't in a relationship and doesn't see him that way. She also reminded him that they had already talked about this before, and her mind hadn't changed. According to the police who have seen the footage, Bianca made it clear they weren't together and they were never going to be together. Brandon then struck Bianca in the face, causing her to fall backwards, stunned and confused as to what had just happened because Brandon had never been violent towards her before. Bianca threatened to get out of the car and walk the rest of the way home, but before she could realize the gravity of the situation, Brandon had pulled out his knife and cut her throat. According to those who have seen the video, Bianca had no idea what was coming and didn't have a chance to fight back or defend herself.
All right. I can't see the email because it'll sign me out of YouTube. So, yeah.
Brandon then turned the camera off, only to immediately start recording once more, recording her last breath before taking pictures of her body. He then logged on to his Discord and posted a photo of her dead body in his car, under which he wrote, "Sorry fuckers, you're going to have to find somebody else to orbit."
All right, I'm done with this. I'm sorry, but look, at the end of the day, some dumb fuck who had some unrequited love, killed a poor girl, and yeah, don't be fucking simps. How's that? Don't be fucking simps. If a girl asks you to drive her to a concert where she can kiss another guy, just say fucking no. Well, Dragnot, I'm actually pissed off enough where fuck it if you want to come on. But just say fucking no! Like if it was a girl I knew that I was romantically interested in, she blew me off for that, but then asked for a fucking ride to a concert? No! Hell, if it's a girl that I just happen to know, haven't expressed any romantic interest in, and she wants a ride over in the bar, you better goddamn well believe I'm gonna be like, well, bitch, you better be sucking. Although I'm not sure how much I want that, because, you know, the dick titillating the gag reflex might end badly for me. But no, I'm sorry, but this is just a case of simping gone wrong, and again, thanks to the fact that the Democrats have won, we're gonna have 2 more fucking years of this. Again. And again, speaking to my friend, if she called me up and said, hey, can you drive me to the concert so I can meet my current boyfriend? I'd be like, no, fuck you. Figure out a way on your own. Again, unless she offered a few perks. Then maybe I would, but outside of that, no, fuck you. And again, you know, I hate to blame the victim in all this, but ladies, if you have a guy that is like really into you and you're just not into him, either A, reevaluate what attracts you to a guy, because maybe the guy that's super into you is, you know, the best choice, you know, because he can actually, you know, fix a fucking toilet and fix a light switch. 2, set very clear boundaries with him. Or 3, cut him out of your damn life. Cut him completely the fuck out of your damn life. Now, I know you're not going to do that because you grew up in the age of Sims, but just cut him out of your fucking life. All right, that ends this one. We're going to do this one. This is a message to all humans. Our third request live stream. Except I have to pee. And I believe, why am I here? Damn it all to hell. Remove. Yes, there we are. That's quite nice. Enjoy the lesbians. I shall.
He's a natural. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
And now back to my ugly ass.
We're going to play a little game today, and we're going to use some visualization to put
Is that Andrew Tate?
you in the right scenario to see how you'd actually respond. Now, I'm on the road right now, and I want you to imagine that you have just pulled over on the side of the road because you saw a berry bush. You saw a berry bush and
Okay.
an apple tree, and you were attracted to those things, and so you got out to do some fresh picking. Pick some fresh berries, pick some fresh apples, and eat them, okay? Now I want you to put yourself in that situation and imagine how you would feel. Go ahead, do that right now. What are you feeling when you see
I'm feeling nothing. I honestly feel like I'm stealing from a farmer.
the berry bush on the side of the road? Are you excited? Do you say, ooh, free food, okay?
No, I feel like I'm stealing from a fucking farmer. And if they're just a wild grown, let's say, Honeycrisp tree, no, I'm petrified. Because of all the shit that might be in the fucking apples.
Does your mouth water a little bit? What happens? Put yourself in that situation. What's the novelty like? What is the feeling like, okay? And I want you to saturate yourself in that moment just to see how you'd feel, okay? You pick that apple, you bite into the apple. Maybe that apple's a little sour.
Maybe that apple is full of worms, which is something that I don't know if I've eaten, but I would prefer not willingly eaten.
You're like, this one's not so good. So you pick another one, and the other one looks a bit riper, all right? What does that feel like? You bite into it, it tastes great. You're like, oh my God, this is a wonderful apple. Okay, now, I want you to really think about that moment for a second. Now I want you to change the scenario just a bit. You've pulled over on the side of the road.
Exactly. If I'm driving along and I come across a blackberry bush or an apple tree, I'm going to assume that if it's wild, it's poisonous. Or B, if it's planted in a row, it's somebody's fucking crop. So you're stealing.
and you see an animal carcass, a dead animal carcass.
If I see a dead animal carcass, I'd be like, oh shit, that sucks. I'm not gonna stop.
All right?
Oh God, I know where he's going. Oh God in heaven, I know where he's going, and it's going to suck for him.
Now, what is it that you're thinking and feeling at that moment? Okay?
Nothing. Because it's an animal carcass. Excuse me. The only thing needs to be is not in the way of my car.
How is...
Or not big enough to cause destruction to my car. Shit.
Is that moment different from when you pulled over on the side of the road to see the berry bush and the apples? Okay? Well, I just so happen to be in that scenario, so you don't need to visualize it.
Please say the animal's dead.
Right? I just pulled over on the side of the road, and this is the carcass of a deer. Okay?
Problem?
There are
Let the coyotes have her.
flies all over me right now. I don't know if you can see them, but there are flies absolutely everywhere. It's been hit by a car, and its guts are spilling out, and as you can see, it's riddled with flies. Riddled with flies. Now, what is the difference? What is the difference in how you would respond to that as opposed to a berry bush and apple?
Very simple, because I knew you were going here. The fruit on the berry bush or apple tree is still edible. The meat inside the deer has been so infested and infected and rancid that it is no longer good or viable. You're aware that humans are designed to eat clean meat, not maggot-infested meat.
Tree growing outside. What do your senses tell you about this? Are you made thirsty? Are you made hungry by this?
Actually, yes, I am. I just wish it didn't have all the flies on it. Because the flies are laying their maggots, and only maggots eat only dead flesh. And I would say this deer is killed probably 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago. So just lying on the street like that, I'm not going to cook the meat.
Right? Are you being honest with yourself when you tell yourself that you need to subject and support an industry of absolute slaughter, rape, torture, and murder?
Yes, I am. I'm fine with it. Because your analogy sucks. Again, the fruit on the tree is still good. And by the way, when you pluck the apple from the tree, you're literally killing the apple tree's babies. You're aware of that, right? Right. The apples are actually the seeds of the tree to try to grow more seeds. Or try to grow more trees. You're aware of that? You're aware the berries are actually the seed pods of the plant? You're aware of that, faggot? Oh no, you're not.
Right? Why would you have to support that?
Plus, there's plenty. Exactly. Let the vultures eat it. There's plenty of animals that need that deer where it is. Because they're scavengers.
That when your senses, your God-given senses, tell you immediately and clearly that this is something abhorrent that you do not want in your system.
He has a plastic bag. Is he going to move the goddamn thing?
I'm telling you right now. Look, does this disgust you? Okay? If
No!
I move this head.
It doesn't!
This stiff deer head. All right? With all these flies on it. All right?
I just think you're a pussy for the plastic bag. Come on. Is
Is that weird?
No, It's not weird. I don't care. And it's not going to stop my love of bacon.
Disturbing would it be if I were just to pick this head up and take a bite out of its face? A bite out of its face.
I wouldn't say it's... I would say that might be weird, but I would also have a bigger concern over your gut health. Because, do you know what parasites deers actually carry, especially through their fur?
Face. All right?
But no, if I was to be served this deer and it was pasteurized and processed and I was assured it was safe to eat, then I would eat the fucking thing.
How many of you would be absolutely disgusted with me?
I would not be.
Whether meat...
Again, if it was pasteurized and processed and made safe for my consumption, I'd eat the fucking thing. I don't think that's going to be a case because deer needs to be served very, very rare. But whatever, who fucking cares?
Eater or not. Oh, but I didn't prepare it. Oh, I didn't skin it properly. Oh, I didn't clean it properly. Oh, why would you have to do any of that garbage? I didn't have to do any of that when I picked up the berry bush on the side of the street, on the side of the road. I ate it in the exact same raw state that I would be eating this deer carcass.
You're aware that wild apples can have critters in them. You're aware of that, right? You're aware of that? Oh, of course. No, you're not.
All right? What is the point here? What am I trying to say? All right? The point is, I am trying to get you reunited, remarried, reacquainted with your natural sensitivities. Your...
All right, fine. If I kill an animal and eat it raw, can I eat meat? Or are you just pissed off because I eat meat?
God-given sensitivities. I just touched myself with this bag that I touched the deer.
And by the way, you're going to find a lot more dead deer on the road because thanks to vegan activist fucks like you and a general lack of interest in the sport, hunting is way down. Like, you're literally going to see in about 10 years, there's not going to be a limit on deer in many states, mine included. I can't tell you how many fucking deer I see on my trip to work. And I'm in suburbia. Okay?
Does that disgust you? Why is it disgusting you?
It's not disgusting me. It's not. I think the meat has gone rancid, but if it hasn't, hell, I'll skin the fucking little bitch and fry that motherfucker up.
Right? You have inborn, innate sensitivities to what is food and what is not, and what is good for life. And
except I would never pick an apple from a tree, and I would never fucking pick wild berries. Because there's a lot of berries that grow that are very, very, very toxic to humans. So your argument is less than nothing.
And what is not good for life. And I just showed you by the reaction that I know you had inside that you want nothing to do with that element of dead food that is meant for the lower animals. Not you. Not you, the highly evolved human being that you say and claim that you are. Yet we subscribe to this practice of dominating our lower brothers and sisters because we can. That's a great excuse, all right? We need to step up to the plate. We need to become the moral beings that we claim to be.
I would have loved to have been on the same path as this asshole. Because you can get sick from eating an apple. You can die from eating the wrong berry. And there's a lot of berries on a lot of plants that are completely toxic. And if that deer was freshly killed, like if it had just gotten run over, hack off the hunk that got run over and you could cook the rest and it'd be fine. But you conveniently chose a deer that has been decomposing for probably hours, maybe days. And you're using this as somehow a screed against meat when meat doesn't we don't kill the cow by running it over on a fucking road.
Take our rightful place as rulers of this planet, but benevolent rulers of this planet, so that we control our environments and we control our lifestyle.
Also, if I had a coyote, he'd start eating that shit right away.
In a way that unfolds the evolution of all beings, right? That's what it means to be human.
Unfold the evolution of all beings. Really? Tell the fucking lion to not eat meat. Seriously, give this speech to a lion. I'll wait for your death.
That's what I'm doing here. That's what I'm trying to engender. That's what I'm trying to create. That's what I'm trying to teach people when I speak on this channel and other platforms. All right? You need to get back in touch with your sensitivities. All right? Stop fooling yourself.
I am in touch with my natural sensitivities, and my natural sensitivities tell me to eat the fucking cow. I need meat. It fuels me, it drives me, it makes my life worth living.
Stop deceiving yourself. Our capacity to deceive ourselves as human beings is unfathomable. It is ineffable, the lengths that we go to deceive ourselves and pull ourselves away from the natural goodness and godliness that comes from within. It is unbelievable. And I'm sorry I'm getting a little bit fired up here, but we've got to wake up, all right? Wake up now before you find yourself in peril. In peril because of the consequences of your own.
If I find myself in peril over a lifetime of eating meat, I will accept those consequences because I'd rather have that than a boring-ass vegan life.
Own actions, all right? All right, guys. This is a labor of love. I'm saying this out of love. I know I'm a little bit fired up right now, but anyway, thanks for listening, okay?
You know, you could have buried the deer if you really gave so much of a rat's ass about it, but what did you do? No, you didn't bury the deer. You left it to rot on the side of the fucking road. You could have dug a little hole, put that deer in the hole, buried some dirt on top of it, put a little marker. But you care so much. But what'd you do? You left the carcass on the side of the fucking road. Just not for nothing. By the way, do you have any pets? Cats? Dogs? Because cats are killers. And cats also kill for sport. Yeah. No bullshit. Human beings are not the only ones that kill for sport. So do dogs, believe it or not. They kill for sport too. I bring him up often and I miss him terribly, but Hendrix, he wiped out an entire family of bunnies. And he did it for sport. Can't really blame him. He was a beagle. So this idea that we can teach animals morality, yeah, go fuck yourself. And again, if we found a human on the side of the road, the least we would do would be bury it. You didn't do that for the deer, now did you? Oh, well, of course you did. You had too much to do. You had to be an activist on your little fucking blog.
God bless.
All right, we're done with Discount Tate. And the last video is thank God retro commercials. And if you're not gotten your October thing in, please get it in quickly. I'm going to be sending out the messages to get your November thing in quickly. And if you want to become a patron, just go to my Lord of Patriarchy channel and you can find out how to become a patron there. Yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. All right, let's go.
Into a soft drink? Oh, it can happen this Halloween. When you give out McDonald's Halloween gift certificates, kids take them to McDonald's and they get a McDonald's soft drink. Oh, what is that? A book of 20 Halloween gift certificates costs only $1 and can turn into 20 regular soft drinks. It must be the magic of Halloween.
Yeah, no, it's because the kid also wants a goddamn meal, so, yeah. They're not just going there for a soda fill up. Because that only takes 1 penny.
McDonald's can! Nobody.
Mummies everywhere are rushing to Carvel for the new Halloween ice cream cake, just $9.99. Have your mummy pick up some new ghosty cones too. The Halloween cake, $9.99.
This Halloween he's coming with something they never expected. Cookies! Simply roll out Pillsbury sugar cookies, cut, bake, then create your own deliciously spooky cookies.
Woo-hoo! This Halloween, party with your favorite monsters during Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, Florida. And right now, carve out savings of up to $16 off admission with this special coupon you'll find on 2 liters of Pepsi. For details, visit a Pepsi display near you. Halloween Horror
I think I actually remember that.
Nights at Universal Studios. Hurry to Ticketmaster today for advance tickets, while you can still slash the price.
For the Studer family, today's shopping trip for Halloween supplies was unlike any other. Because they didn't just enter Target, they also entered the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror sweepstakes. Pick up your game card at Target. You could win a vacation to Walt Disney World in Florida and a chance to...
Except the Twilight Zone was never a horror series.
Experience the height of fright, the new Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Toys R Us has the Big Bird Halloween costume and the Yoda Halloween costume for trick-or-treating.
Look out, because this Halloween, Toys R Us is your Halloween headquarters. You'll find every trick or treat under the moon. A monstrous selection of costumes and a dungeon full of decorations at prices so low, you'll howl. So this Halloween, bring the entire family to Toys R Us for a Halloween.
Why? Oh, shit. Damn it. One second. I think I got off the current video.
Ever hear of a gift certificate that...
Now in every Big Kids meal you can get a Simpsons Creepy Classic. Each has a kooky spooky screen. You can collect all 10 if you dare.
Okay, you got it.
Float sold separately.
Even after lying around for 3 years. Today's Duracell batteries still have up to 90% of their life. There's a date that proves it. So you've got nothing to be afraid of. Today's Duracell, with 3-year storage.
Hey, I'm no numbskull, so call me at 1-900-909-2233. And
oh, God, these fucking things.
you'll hear the funniest monster jokes like, what's a vampire's favorite sport? Basketball. Or the one about the ghoul who missed her mummy. You'll also find out how to get these scary street signs featuring my friends Dracula, Wolfman, and Frankenstein. It costs $2.45 for a 2-minute message, so ask your mom or dad if it's okay before you call 1-900-909-2233. I'm dying to make you laugh.
And the Headless Horseman raised his pumpkin hat.
Now at McDonald's, Halloween Happy Meal pails to hold your Halloween goodies, each with a cookie cutter lid, one with each Happy Meal you buy.
I didn't see any of these. I don't know if McDonald's actually brought them back. But God, those were fun as a kid. Get your little Happy Meal, and you usually you got it that night. You get your little Happy Meal, you eat your meal, and go out and canvas the town.
And now a ghost story.
McDonald's has a monster of an idea. Happy Halloween certificates. A book of 10 is only $1. Your gang can turn them in for free dessert treats like cones and sample-sized sundaes at McDonald's. Each book also comes with a mail-in certificate for this free Roger Rabbit when you buy your video cassette of the smash hit Who Framed Roger Rabbit. McDonald's Happy Halloween certificates. A deal so good, it's eerie.
The Castle of the Chicken McNuggets.
What are you making?
Sauce. We're using my mummy's recipe.
Mummy,
This better be good.
It'll be great.
Does your daddy have a recipe?
Now you can get McDonald's Happy Meal pails for
Halloween!
There's a pumpkin pail, a witch, and a ghost that glows in the dark. You can get a different one each week until
Halloween!
Time to go down to the basement for some more hauntingly delicious Count Chocula cereal.
Don't look in the basement.
Those eyes are looking at me. Think I'll get some fruity Frankenberry from the cupboard.
Don't look in the cupboard.
Oh, those eyes, they move.
Now the spooky, delicious part of your complete breakfast is even spookier.
Back when Blueberry was not a thing anymore.
Now Chocula's eyes really move. So did Frankenberry's.
He is looking at you, kids.
By the way, I hated Count Chocula. I hated Frankenberry even more. Any cereal with marshmallows in it, I hated. Hated, and actually not hated, I still hate. I don't know what fucking demon of hell came up with breakfast cereal marshmallows, but I want them to be shot and maybe tortured on the way out.
Hallmark has the things to make Halloween a day of double takes. Scare up some friends with spooky props. T-shirt and tails and bop kitty drop. Cast a Hallmark spell to return for the worst, for myths, for masks, for babies who thirst. With things from Hallmark, let's no bother. One Halloween take deserves another. Look where Hallmark products lurk. You'll find things most frightening. This new bazaar can make your Halloween enlightening.
This Halloween, find fun somewhere new. Pillsbury Halloween cookies. With Linus's great pumpkin and chocolate ghosts. Just slice, bake, and eat before Halloween vanishes.
My heart to yours, Pillsbury.
Get the battery. Plus, the Energizer.
So, the Energizer Bunny can not only defeat Darth Vader, but it can also defeat Dracula. I hate that little pink bunny.
Energizer battery. It keeps going and
What? There's something under the bed. I heard something. There's nothing under the bed. I heard something.
See, look, it's just Fluffy. He got scared by a dumb cat.
I wasn't scared.
I told you there was nothing under the bed.
Look what's rising out of the pumpkin patch this Halloween. The pumpkin.
Why are the two brothers sleeping in the same queen-sized bed? I know they're little, but why is this a thing? And by the way, I had this contraption when I was a kid.
A great way to
Like, seriously, what the fuck?
let your kids carve their own pumpkins without sharp edges that cut little hands. It even makes toothy grins easy to do. The pumpkin scoop removes seeds and pulp better than any spoon. And the pumpkin light replaces dangerous candles with glowing results. Have a great pumpkin this Halloween with the pumpkin cutter, pumpkin scoop, and pumpkin light.
No, we added candles, and Daddy-O always made the pumpkin seeds up into a snack.
Pumpkin cutter products available at
But I do remember the pumpkin cutter thing.
Long's Drugs and Safeway.
For great Halloween fun, pick up some spooky decorations at Walgreens. Just $7.99 each. Scary sound-activated Halloween figures, battery-operated pirate skull, witches, skeletons, and more. Stock up on Halloween candy, too. Walgreens has a wide selection of treats and goodies of all kinds. And it's time to order your holiday photo greeting cards. Put your favorite photo on any of 6 beautiful designs. All orders include a free marker pen. Treat yourself to savings this week at Walgreens.
Elvira here, mistress of the dark and sometimes surfer babe.
Yeah, you were hot 30 years ago.
Because Coors Light is the official beer of Halloween and the party's at the beach. Malibu Beach, where you can hang ten. Look, Frankie and Annette. And of course, when it's time to chill, just reach for that cooler of Coors Light. Aged ice cold, never frozen stiff. It's the right beer now for Halloween. Just look for the silver bullet smooth display and dig up your friends now for a party at the beach. Happy Halloween, dude.
Halloween's coming. What are you gonna do about it? Whether you do a little or a lot, be an original this Halloween and find yourself at Hallmark.
That commercial is absolutely stupid.
Hallmark has a way.
And at participating Hallmark stores, get your hands on the spooky soundscape, full of creepy sounds and Halloween theme songs. $1.95 with any $5 Hallmark purchase. Only at participating Hallmark stores. It's a scream.
At Six Flags, we've unearthed new thrills and added even more fun. Whoa! It's our Halloween party for the whole family, featuring creepy, crawly pets, a haunted mansion, frighteningly fun shows, plus heart-pounding rides on these October days and nights. So don't just creep in. Hurry to Fright Fest at Six Flags Magic Mountain. So much fun, it's scary. For the first time ever, pay just $20 for Six Flags admission with coupons from Jack in the Box restaurants.
Keep in mind, this was in 1990, like $2, so.
breakfast is served.
Ooh, Honey Nut Cheerios.
Hey, Wednesday, bet you can't beat me to the sweet taste of nuts and honey.
Oh, I bet I can.
It's a race for the taste of Honey Nut Cheerios.
Part of this complete breakfast.
I win!
Yeah, but losing.
Whoa!
Never tasted so sweet.
So where's the bee? You can look real hard and he'll magically appear in these 3D pictures on the back of marked boxes of Honey Nut Cheerios.
All right, 95 or 96.
What? No dip?
For a really great Halloween, pick up tons of Pepsi and Doritos.
Kids, come meet your new sitter. Looks like a good time to check out Burger King. Yeah! Nice costume. I'm so scared.
Universal Studios monsters are on the loose. You can get one toy and glow-in-the-dark sticker inside every Kids Club meal at Burger King.
Wow, really nice costume. Burger King Kids Club. Great food, cool stuff, kids only.
Halloween's a perfect time for baking
Spooky cookies! Just roll out Pillsbury sugar cookies, cut, bake and decorate, and feed them to your goblins! So much fun there!
Scary!
God forbid you actually make the cookie dough yourself.
I was helping my client find her Halloween party. Let's try this trap door. No Coors Light party here. It's behind that panel.
You found it, my hero.
Join the fun at your favorite Coors Light Halloween headquarters, because it isn't Halloween without the silver bullet.
I wish we had Leslie Nielsen around.
Designated driver? Good.
Hi there, I'm Dumpy the Pumpkin. Carvel's Halloween ice cream cake. I weigh 44 ounces and serve 10 to 12 people.
Having a Halloween party? I'm Wiki the Witch, and I weigh 45 ounces. We're both made fresh daily at your participating Carvel ice cream store.
You want to send one to a friend? Please phone 800-327-GIFT and call the Cake Honors most major credit cards. Thank you.
Ooh, Halloween. So confusing. You throw a big party. Oh, hello. So glad you could come. Everybody shows up dressed like somebody else. Who are you supposed to be? So, I always say the same thing to everybody. Have a Zima. Happy Halloween. Have a Zima. Zima is a unique alcohol beverage. Not like beer. Hey, Bob, are you 21? Not wine. No. So keep a fridge full of Zima for all your spooks and spirits. Unzip, and they will howl.
Zima was essentially Smirnoff Ice before Smirnoff Ice was a thing.
Can't be the real thing.
My most perfect creation! Gee, I'll have to do something about that face.
Introducing Spooky Goop, horrifying monster makeup you make up at home. Spooky Goop's bubbling lizard lips, backbones, and toes create a ghoulish goo that makes a monster out of you.
Now that's a face no mother could love.
Spooky Goop, spine-tingling makeup for Halloween or any unearthly occasion.
My little goblins will be out long after dark, so I depend on Duracell batteries to light their way, because Duracell lasts longer.
Tests prove after just a few hours of continuous use, regular carbon batteries wear out. But you can get up to 5 times more use from Duracell batteries.
That's why I trust my kids' safety at night to Duracell.
Duracell. The copper top battery. No regular battery.
Now the older daughter you send them out with.
Looks like it.
We're home! Or lasts like it.
There's an odd, unexplainable phenomenon haunting Pizza Hut. Is it another worldly spirit compelling these people to eat their pizza the wrong way? No, it's new stuffed crust pizza with a ring of cheese baked in the edge of a totally new, thinner crust.
Incoming!
And with a large, just $9.99, every living
Alright, I think about 96 is when these commercials were made.
person will be eating it the wrong way crust first.
Hey, look! I'm eating like a fleshy tooth!
And even some not so living.
You'll love the stuff we're made of, Pizza Hut.
Dunkin' Donuts is proud to announce we've created a monster. Introducing a haunting collection of minis for Halloween.
They're alive! Alive!
Minis are a fraction the size of our regular donuts, but they have the power to attract very interesting guests to your Halloween parties.
More sprinkles!
As Halloween approaches, you have to prepare yourself for what might happen. More orange sprinkles. It's a special time of year, and Dunkin' Donuts is dressing up their donuts for the occasion. And here's the werewolf. So come to Dunkin' Donuts and get into the spirit of Halloween.
We'd like some Halloween donuts, please.
Oh, of course.
There's a new cereal in the neighborhood with O's and Go.
Oh my god, I didn't even think this. The Ghostbuster cereal was made by Purina, the fucking dog chow company.
Tastes real good. Ghostbusters!
Marshmallow Ghost, fruit flavored O's. Ghostbusters taste great with milk and juice and toast. A nutritious breakfast with the ghost.
Ghostbusters!
Fruit flavored O's.
Ghostbusters!
Marshmallow Ghost.
Ghostbusters!
What you gonna crunch?
Ghostbusters!
Halloween is coming, my favorite holiday. I give my friends something special. Nestle bars. They're made with real milk chocolate. And in the spirit of the season, here's what Nestle is doing for me. I get $1 refund with every 2 specially marked Nestle mini bags. And $1 worth of coupons in every specially marked Halloween pack. There are my friends now.
Oh!
You scared me.
Nestle bars!
Get real savings on real chocolate from Nestle.
Happy Halloween! From First Kids Network. Nickelodeon!
There's nothing in the dark that isn't there in the light. Or is there?
You send him a postcard. You practiced for weeks.
Nick or treat.
Now it's time for
Nick or treat.
Nick's calling 2,500 kids all this week during the Ozone and all morning on Halloween. Answer,
Nick or treat.
and you'll win a glow-in-the-dark.
Oh god, I remember the Ozone. It was horrible.
Mark Nick t-shirt, $5 in gift certificates to McDonald's, and a package of Amazing Fruit gummy bears. Nick doesn't care how you sit, what you wear, who you scare. Just make sure you answer.
Nick or treat! Nick or treat!
Nick or treat! Brought to you by McDonald's and Amazing Fruit gummy bears and
Nickelodeon!
the night before Halloween, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring except for Fred's spouse. Cartoon Network was hosting a Halloween Eve with incredible tunes you wouldn't believe. Halloween is Grinch Night starting. Get some Haunted Halloween on that very same date. Then spooky tunes from 9 to 11. Every tune-loving fool must be in heaven. It's Halloween Eve, the night before Halloween, next Monday on Cartoon Network. I love jelly beans.
Welcome to the Kids WB Haunted House Halloween Bash at Wayne Manor. Can I help you?
We're here for the Haunted House Halloween Bash.
What are your names?
Jessie.
James.
And Meow.
Sorry, you're not on the guest list.
What? Didn't you RSVP?
No, I thought you RSVP'd.
I'm gonna miss this party because of you, lame brains. Oh, dear.
The Haunted House Halloween Bash continues with Sylvester and Tweety. Next.
Oh, we're here for the party.
Don't even try it.
Wait a minute.
Also, I was not a big fan of Batman Beyond.
The master of kid suspense, R.L. Stine, brings your favorite books to life in an all-new Fox Kids television series.
Oh god, I remember this. Think of a lame-ass, low-rent Tales from the Crypt. And most of the kids of my generation watch Tales from the Crypt.
Things are not always what they appear to be. On Goosebumps, premiering November 3rd on Fox Kids.
Oh, I remember it. It sucked.
Watch it with a friend.
World's biggest Halloween party is coming to Six Flags Great Adventure. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays, October 15th through Halloween weekend. Visit a park that's bigger than Disneyland and experience Fright Fest.
Scary fun for the whole family.
Meet terrible trolls, ghastly ghouls, and goblins. And experience Batman the Ride. Starting October 15th through Halloween weekend. Fright Fest at Six Flags Great Adventure. There's nothing like it on Earth. Get these great Fright Fest savings with special coupons at participating Roy Rogers.
This Halloween, when you stock up on Pepsi and Doritos, you'll find coupons for savings on Hershey's candies. It's the perfect recipe for a...
Wicked.
So, is the witch planning to molest all the children of the neighborhood with Pepsi and Doritos?
Here's something to howl about. This week at Purity Supermarkets, specially marked Pepsi-Cola 2 liters are just 89 cents.
Hi, you look like you could use some breakfast. How about some Honey Nut Cheerios? It's okay. Look, it's got real golden honey. Honey, good. Anytime. It's Honey Nut Cheerios, part of this good breakfast.
Delicious. Very tasty.
They're here.
Who's here?
Ghosts. Our town Chocula cereal. It's haunted. Yummy marshmallow ghosts.
Scary bats and new spooky ghost marshmallows are haunting all the monster cereals. They're the ghostly part of this complete breakfast.
Crab from
A haunted house. Wow, hello, Max. Scary how I love those sweet little puffs of wheat. A mirror? I'll shine some light on this mystery. There they are. Hey, what the... Oh, my. And I want Max to be part of my complete breakfast. Oh, kitty, look behind you. Good, the scaredy cat. Kellogg's Smacks. I dig 'em.
Hey, little M&M's. Wow, great costumes. What are you guys, like 4 or 5?
46.
All right, yeah, okay. Here you go.
You don't understand, Slick. We're here for the party.
Yeah, that's cute.
Put your hand.
Some glow-in-the-dark bags. This is the best costume ever.
I'm a pirate. No. Spaceman? No. Ninja?
Last year, one of everyone's favorite candies appeared in a Halloween-sized pack.
All right. I've done enough of this. I think I've done more than enough to earn my money. And that ends this one. I'm going to take a little break, but I'll probably be back on the Lord of Patriarchy's channel for another live stream. So until then, good night, everybody.